Okay, let's say we have a nice data within this kind of table, and at this moment this is just step records in a company or whatever. And this part is we want to look at certain data related to the given any step numbers here. So at this moment 1300 is checked, entered in this cell, and it shows what is that person's name, surname, and where the department he belong to or she belong to, and what is the salary grade for that person. And this is from somewhere else, so let's just pay attention for this. So all these information comes from here in this data. Just imagine this is simple table, but you have tons of data within one table, and looking for any information of certain individual or certain things, then it's very difficult to find it. But if you have these extra cells on this side, then whenever you change it, let's say how about 1255, hit enter, then it changes all this information which related to that person. So it's very handy, and for that kind of function is called VLOOKUP function. So let's just working on it. But before starting it, let me explain how it looks. How does it look at working? Okay? This VLOOKUP function needs 3 or 4 information within there. So you can see to get this result as a Kevin, you have to have what matching information. Okay? So which means at this moment we are looking the information according to the step number, right? So whatever we type the number here, right? So actually this cell has its own name here as a step number, right? So in this VLOOKUP function, the first input is what number we are looking for from the table. So we are looking for this number within the table, no matter where it is, just we are looking for that number. And the second one is from what table. So we have to mention this whole table, and it comes with this name. So this name is actually the title for this whole array, right, in this table. Okay? So it's already pre-decided. We can talk about that a little bit later. And the third one is what column we are looking for, and to get the results, right? So if you choose this is our table, then number 2 means the second column in the table, and that is actually surnames, right? So in here we are going to get one of these surname, which is related to the given number. So that's the whole meaning of this one. And the last one is first. The meaning of that is if you don't have this first, then this VLOOKUP function returns the value which is close to that number. So it's kind of approximation of it, right? But if you typed in first in here, which means we want exact matching with that number from the table. So without having it, it doesn't return anything like that. Okay, so that's how it works. So in task starting from 3.4, you're gonna do the similar ones here, but it uses exactly the same commands and names in there. So let me change a little bit, because there is another way to do that. Okay, let's say we are still want to use VLOOKUP, okay, from the table, and one way you can find it here is formulas. VLOOKUP is one of Excel formula, so you can go there as in the lecture note and try to find the lookup tables, right? Okay, look at references and go down. Then one of the choices is lookup. So you can click it and click OK, will give you that command. That's the one way, and that is explained in our lecture note. But inside this formulas tab, in this ribbon, one of them is it's not showing it, but in here you have VLOOKUP. So all these formulas is arranged in here, right? So if you're familiar with this ribbon, you can find it directly from this ribbon. Okay, so just click VLOOKUP. Then it's not only just to put that commands here, but it also opens this window. and you need to put that 4 required or 3 at least required information to let this function work. The first one is what is going to be the lookup value, what values we are looking for in this table, right? So you can type in that number directly, but usually it's a cell which has the information that we are looking for. Or if you already assign a name for that cell, you can put in that name in there. So there are many ways you can do that, but let me say right now we just want to use that same cell which already has a name, but we are not going to use the name. We're just looking for the cell, okay, itself. So when you click it, because it already has the name, right, for the cell, so it just typed the step number. But let's say we don't have it. So instead of that one, how about using this cell? Okay. Then when you click it, it's just giving us the regular cell number, K16. And as you can see here, it's typed K16 automatically for that. So let's click this one again, go back to that. So K16, the cell K16 is selected, and whatever number or information we typed in there, this VLOOKUP function will return the results. Now the second one is table array. Once again, click here and click this part. Then you can select the whole table, right? So dragging and selecting this table all together like this much and release it, then that's the table. Okay, then that's it. That's good. So as you can see here, instead of step record or whatever, the name is already assigned for that table, you can just kind of type in or selecting from here for the whole entire table by yourself. Okay? So this is good when you don't have the information of the title of the table. Okay? And the third one is what information we are exactly looking for according to that lookup value. So how about the name once again? So let's go to this one, click, and right now what you're looking for is this second column. So if you do it, let me do this way. So selecting that columns like that, okay, because I want just one name from this list, and it shows what parts you select from these cells. Okay, good. And last one is, yeah, I want exact value, so let me type first, then finish all these inputs that required. So click OK and see what happens. Oh, not enough information because we don't put any number here. Okay, good. Then let me just type same thing, like 1255, hit enter. Now no reference. Okay, what's going on? You should be very careful when you assign the related table. This method is working. You don't need to put the name for the whole table, but the columns you're looking for, we don't want to dragging it because there is easier way to pinpoint the whole column. Because after you decide the whole table, we know how many columns in there and we know which column we are looking for to find the value. So in this case, this one is the second column in this table. So just simply type 2 and hit enter, then it returns same results, right? So once again, when you look at here, this is not something like from B4 to B20 something. No, it's just number of columns here. And first is for looking for exact value returns, right? And step table, in this case, because we already assigned the name for this whole table, which is step table, so they just use the name. But in here we don't do that. We actually select whole the range of that the table, right? And K16, we don't put any name on that cell. We just pinpoint what cell we want to use for that lookup table. So this is how it works. So for the remaining part, I believe you can do this way. Okay, let's look at this one. In this last cell, when you look at this command, the function has only 3 inputs without having false. But we know where this, what number we are looking for. It should be in K9. Okay, it's 13. The grade is 13, and we are looking for that value in this table, right? Salary, but we don't know where that salary is. Okay, and of course the value we are looking for as a return value is from the second column from that table. We know that much. So the only question here is where the salary is, right? The table. So you may face that kind of situation just in case, right? Unless you just make this whole thing by yourself. Whenever you have that kind of names, right, then go to these formulas and go to name manager. When you click it, it opens this name manager window, and it has all the names is in this workbook, and one of them is salary. Okay, so when you select it, it shows where the table is. So it has grades from A2 to B7. Okay, then grades is another worksheet, and A2 to B, oops, I don't want to change it, and B7 is like this. Of course, it's like that. Okay, so this table is the salary is named for that whole table, and this table shows the salary range for different grades. Okay. And of course, in this case, how about the grade number 2, 3, 4, or 7, 9 here, right? It doesn't show it. So it's kind of ascending order. So Excel understand from grade 1 to 4 should be just like this, right? And 5 to 9 should be this one. So in this case, it's much better without having first in this information. So this is the other example, like the VLOOKUP without first. So by that, in this K9, it has grade 13. Okay, and that value 13 in this table is not there, right? Okay. But 13 is between 5 and 10, so that VLOOKUP function returns from the second column, returns and this one. Okay, so it's 13, so 13 should be 10 to 15, so it should return 20 to 25,000. So it depends whether we want to put false in here or not on what kind of information we are looking for and what kind of table we are dealing with. But anyway, this VLOOKUP table, the function is so powerful and so useful if you have really big, huge tables and looking for very specific values from there.